Next topic, income and other criteria. When we looked at individual aspirations and goals, we found that people not only think of better income but also have goals such as security, safety, decency, decent living, better standards of living, respect from others, equal treatment, freedom from all the tortures and discriminations. All these are very important rather than the income, right? Similarly, when we think of a nation, we are thinking individually right now, but when we think about the nation, think of a nation or any particular region, we may think of other equal important attributes besides the average income. Okay. Apart from the income, apart from the average income, some we are thinking about the nation. Up to now we discussed individually, but we are thinking these are all applicable for the nation right now. So what are other things than the income of the country? Public facilities, right? Public amenities, public facilities. How it is that the average person in Haryana, we have the two states here comparison. Haryana has more income than the average person in Himachal Pradesh. Okay, Himachal Pradesh, both are North Indian states, Himachal Pradesh and Haryana. Himachal Pradesh but lags behind in crucial areas. We just remember one thing here. The reason is money here. The reason, very important reason and cause, money. But money in your pocket cannot buy all the goods and services. This is very important universal fact. Money in your pocket cannot buy all the goods and services, right? You may need to live well, happily, okay. So the income by itself is not completely adequate indicator of good material or goods and services that citizens are able to use. Okay, for example, normally your money cannot buy a pollution-free environment, right? We are in polluted environment. We are in noisy environment, noise pollution, water pollution. We can't buy the pollution-free environment or ensure that we'll get unadulterated food. Unadulterated food in the sense very pure food. What is the meaning of adulterated, especially unadulterated, especially the food or drink, having no inferior added substances, very pure substances, unadulterated medicines, unless you can afford to shift to other community, that is already has all these things. Money may not able to protect you from infectious diseases or epidemics or any other viral diseases. So your money may not be protected, may not be able to protect you from all the types of epidemics, especially pandemic, corona pandemic. These diseases, unless the whole of our community takes the preventive steps during this corona pandemic, right? Everyone should take the precautions and measures to protect ourselves. Okay, this is a collective attitude. Actually, for many of the important things, many more important things in our life, the best way is that best way and also the cheapest way. We are always expecting the best way and cheapest way is to provide these goods and services very collectively. We are always thinking about the best and perfect way. Okay, to provide all the goods and services with security and safety. Okay, we should have to think for collective security for whole locality or for each and every house individually. If we'll just discuss this matter very briefly here. Here, the house to have its own security guard. What if no one other than in your village or locality is interested about the education? This is one more very important example. Okay, in your village or locality, they are not interested in studying. Would you able to study? Not unless your parents could afford to send you to the private schools elsewhere. Private schools are very good in quality education than the government schools, obviously, right? So your parents, they could not afford to send you to the private schools. So you are actually able to study because many other children wants to study, because many people believe that large section, very good proportion of the population, many of the people believe that government should provide the open schools and also provide other facilitations and many of the comforts. So all the children have a chance to study. We have the equality and opportunity. We have the opportunity, right to equality. Under this right to equality, under the right to freedom, we have the freedom of opportunity. Even now in many of the areas, children, particularly girls are not able to achieve secondary level schooling because of the government or society, whatever. These are the factors and reasons and causes. The literacy rate was very low for the girl. They has not provided the required facilities, and some states have lower infant mortality rate. You know the mortality rate, infant mortality rate. Children, the infant die before within the 1 year. This is a infant mortality rate because they have adequate provision of basic health care and educational facilitations and many of the comforts. Similarly, in some states, a few states in our country, the social welfare program. Our country is a socialistic country. We are implementing many of the social welfare programs like PDS program, public distribution system. This PDS system, public distribution system, functions well. If a PDS shop or ration shop, we used to call ration shop a fair price shop, and ration shop does not function properly in such places. A few places, the people are not able to get it rectified because of their social standards, because of their ignorance and unawareness. And health and nutritional status of such states are very certainly likely to be better. Okay, so here the health and nutritional status of the people of such states are certainly likely to be better. It's surprising, very surprising that small country. We have the comparison now. You take the comparison. Surprisingly, a small country in our neighborhood, that is called Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is very close to the Indian state Tamil Nadu. Sri Lanka is much ahead of India in every aspect here. That's a very big country. Our country is a very big country in terms of population, in terms of geographical area, comparing to the Sri Lanka. Okay, so here, very big country like ours. Our country is a very big country than Sri Lanka. Here many of the factors are associated here. Many of the factors are estimated to compare with one country with other country, one country with other country. Human Development Report, HDR, Human Development Report. When we realize that even though the level of income is important, it is an inadequate measure of level of development, we began to think of other criterion. We started thinking about other criterion. Okay, so these are the indicators. These are the indicators to measure the level of development. So we began to think of other criteria. There could be a long list of such criteria, but then it would not be so useful at all right now. It is not useful at all, not essential right now. What we need is a small number of most important things like health, education. Health and education both are human resources. Healthy population and educated, skillful population, very important, and these are the indicators for the development of the nation. These are the human resources. Okay, once we used in comparison, you take the example Kerala and Punjab. Comparison of Kerala and Punjab are among them. Over the past decade, health, education, both of the indicators have came to be widely used along with the income. Because these are the human resources, there is the income of the country. They are widely used along with the income as a measurement of development. For instance, for this example, okay, Human Development Report. What is this Human Development Report? It is one of the developmental report produced by published by the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. UNDP stands for United Nations Development Program. What is UNDP? UNDP stands for United Nations Development Program. This United Nations Development Program compares the countries based on educational attainment of the people and their health status, and per capita income of the individuals. We discussed about the per capita income in the previous video session. Per capita income. Per capita income is calculated in US dollars because US is the biggest economy and we can easily calculates with the US dollars. Per capita income is calculated in US dollars for all the countries so that one can compare. It is also done in a way so that every dollar buy the same amount of the goods and services in any country. That's why we are comparing with the US dollar, United Nations and United States of American dollar. It's a currency, US dollar. Check life expectancy, very important topic again. Life expectancy at birth. Life expectancy at birth denote the average expected length of life of the person at the time of the birth. Okay, average the life expectancy, the length of a person at the time of the birth. Next factor, literacy rate. This literacy rate, the number of people aged 7 years and above who can read, understand, write, and he can understand any language per 100 members. This is called as literacy rate. Okay, these are the indicators. They are taking criterial factors as indicators. Human Development Index, HDI stands for HDI in short, Human Development Index. This HDI stands for Human Development Index. HDI ranks is above 189. This is the data provided in your textbook. This is HDI, Human Development Index, is one of the very important factor to calculate or compare with some other countries. Many improvements have suggested in calculating Human Development Index. Comparing to the earlier stages, now many improvements have suggested and recommended in calculating Human Development Index. Many new components, various types of new components according to the contemporary situations and happenings, new components have been added to the Human Development Report. But by prefixing the Human Development, HDR, Human Development Report, has made it very clear that what is happening to the citizens of a country, it is very, very, very important in development. What is happening to the citizens of the country, very important, significant factor for the development of the country. People and their health. People, their health and well-being are most important for the development of the country. Prosperity of the nation. Well-being of the people, well-being, individual well-being, which leads to the prosper nation. Very good prosper nation. Very, very most important for development of the country, for every economy.